Thanks, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson, and it is my pleasure to be with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Detroit Pistons going up against the Brooklyn Nets. And for Brooklyn, 5-5 over their last 10 games, but they're not satisfied with 500 ball, looking to tack one onto the win tally tonight. And tonight will feature a high-level front-court matchup. Tough, physical play. Shaq, how did you go about establishing dominance against the best of your peers?
Well, you got to realize that nothing's going to be given to you. You got to earn it. I used to be really dirty, Ernie. Talk about their mama, talk about their sister, talk about their coaches.
What if they
talk
didn't have
about
a
their
sister?
No, you
fans.
did not.
Yeah,
What if they
did.
didn't have a
Oh,
sister?
come on.
Listen, I did research,
Okay.
and I mastered the research.
That's
And
called
I talked
Shaq
about 'em.
search?
Yep.
Okay.
Got in their head, Ernie. It's called Shakicism.
Wow. Shakicism. Well, anyone can bring the A game for, a stretch, but the truly great players, Ernie, they bring it for the duration of the game and duration of a season. So, physical play is good, but mental toughness is better.
Did you like physical opponents, physical matchups, Shaq?
I sure did. EBS, Ernie.
EBS. So what's
Elbow
EBS?
sandwiches.
Oh, my God.
You had to eat them.
Eat up.
You had to eat them, meet them, and possibly beat them.
Oh, my gosh. If you're rhyming, you're on
You
time.
are absolutely on fire
Yes.
today. Here's Kevin Harlan.
Well, the weekend obviously is in full swing, and so is the NBA. Hey, thanks for joining us on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg with Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. Coming in off the road, the Pistons are back in Detroit for this game. They just couldn't come out on top last time they took on the Nets. That one was played in Brooklyn.
And in that game, guys, their three-point shooting really was their own worst enemy. Even when they got the open looks, they just had an inability to knock them down.
And, guys, you've seen it happen to every team. You have to be a threat from beyond the arc nowadays, and if your team goes cold, it really can sabotage your game.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. Setting the floor for the Nets. Kyrie Irving is out there with Harden. Then it's Johnson, then there's Griffin, and it's Monroe in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
Andre Drummond is a big guy. At the NBA Draft Combine, he measured 7 feet tall with a 7'7" wingspan. And he tipped the scales at 280 pounds. That's a super heavyweight, my friends.
The first one falls. And on the topic of Andre Drummond, Greg, there are a few guys in the league who combine his kind of size with the type of athleticism he possesses. Fast up and down the floor, quick off his feet, even sports a little hang time. I mean, the guy's got a full package athletically.
You talked about the raw physical tools. Then you factor in the two things as a big that I really value, great hands and quick feet. And he's got that going for him. So you can't go through him, you can't go around him, and you certainly can't go over him. I mean, what's left?
We can only hope to contain him, as they say. Now here's Griffin. In the game against Orlando, very impressive.
Could be the first of a lot of mid-range jumpers that we see from him.
Now Sessions. Screened by Grant. And Sessions kicks to Grant. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
Here's the screen. Griffin a screen on Sessions. Irving kicks to Griffin. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Griffin's got 5 points so far.
How in the world did they let him get that wide open?
Young outside. Just 5 on the clock.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
It's off his leg. And they're saying he kicked the ball. And so just over a minute and a half played. Harden the pass to Irving, picked by Griffin. Takes it from 10, and he didn't get quite enough under that one.
He operates well in traffic, but still, that's just a tough play to finish.
Drummond a screen. Here's Vujicic, guarded by Harden. Griffin with the steal. Sessions against Irving. Pass to Harden. Nets passing it around. Johnson. The putback. Great positioning on the putback. And it's 7 points for Blake Griffin. For the Pistons, it's been a slow start here. They trail by 3. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston.
Yeah, not a very inspired performance for them, particularly when they were defending. They just gave that hostile crowd plenty to cheer for.
Yeah, they allowed a lot of free runs to the hoop, a lot of open jump shots, and in the end, the opponent's shooting percentage was through the roof. You can't win if your defense isn't better than that.
So it's Brooklyn now, following the 3 by Detroit, and he gets it to go. Griffin's got 9.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Now here's Sessions. 11 points for him in that last game against the Celtics in Boston.
Yeah, but he was the ultimate two-way player. Defensively, also doing a great job. Couple blocks in that game as well.
Here's Irving after the basket by Detroit, picked by Griffin. Irving kicks to Griffin, and count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense. And you see the way Blake Griffin plays. He is a force. Very hard to contain him when he gets in close just due to his strength and activity.
One shot. Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
That's good from Blake Griffin. For Griffin and his ability to create contact close, he's been called a bull in a china shop, something that I think Clarkie embraces.
Yeah, I think he'd rather be the bull than the china in that situation because of his strength and physicality. And I think that's the right mentality to have as a power forward.
Irving dishes to Johnson. And Griffin, here we go. Out to Monroe. Johnson outside, dishes it to Griffin. And that one goes long.
Fadeaway was the right shot there because it got his attempt away from the defender, but the touch was poor.
You know, I love how he absorbs the foul and still had a chance to knock that one down.
Boy, terrific play there. I thought even with all the contact, he still was going to get that shot to go down.
And Detroit with a 32-50 record last season. They didn't have any help from the schedule. They had a total of 22 back-to-back series on the year, tied for most in the league.
The free throw drops for Grant. Greg, you just said the Pistons had a ton of back-to-back games. 44 were part of their back-to-backs, over half their schedule. Clark, they went 15-29 in those games.
And that's part of the reason why the NBA wanted to examine the schedule. I mean, it was a tough year for the Pistons. It's hard to get any momentum when you're playing that many back-to-backs.
And Grant drops them both.
He's always been extremely reliable at the line, and today's been no different.
Irving against Sessions. Griffin a screen on Sessions. Irving passes to Griffin. Here's Monroe. The shot's good. Griffin making the play. Monroe's got his first 2 points of the night.
I mean, even he was surprised to be that open.
And Sessions kicks to Young. The feed to Grant. He's looking for Drummond and finds him. The shot misses. And Brooklyn will come the other way. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
they just weren't challenged. I mean, nearly as much as they should have been in that game, at least when they had the ball.
Yeah, it was a mismatch. I mean, the defense from the start was on its heels practically the entire game.
And so it's Detroit with the ball after the miss from Joe Johnson. Vujacic dishes to Sessions. Young with no one around. Detroit, no good that time either.
Oh, that's got to be deflating and disappointing to miss a wide-open shot like that right in your wheelhouse.
Here's Johnson. Again, the miss by Johnson. Pistons trail by 3, and Young kicks to Sessions. Drummond trying to get himself free. Comes up empty down low.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Grant the pass to Vujacic. He kicks to Young. From deep three-point range. Rebound by Monroe.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
Irving dishes to Monroe. Drummond working against Griffin. Can't connect from 14 feet out. Detroit's gone 1 of 3 so far in the game. Right wing. Here's Vujacic. No good. That would have tied it. Nets leading by 3. A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kevin, Lionel Hollins and I had a chance to talk just for a bit. He said that if they wanted to double their wins against them, they'll have to be just as sharp as they were in their first meeting, saying, we can't get sloppy now and expect to win. We have to be just as judicious with what shots we take as we were the first time around. We'll see if they can replicate that, guys.
And thanks as always, Doris. And guys, the emphasis on quality shooting, getting those chances identified by their coach is a key for them.
I think that means they must work as a complete unit out there, cooperate, sharing the ball, and try to limit the one-on-one play.
And if they can do that, they will have success shooting the basketball. I think it's guaranteed.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. And the Pistons, an entirely new group now out there. And then for Brooklyn, Millsap comes in for Blake Griffin. And Harris subbed in for Johnson. And the Nets with possession here. Here's Irving. He's coming off a 13-point game against Orlando.
Yeah, but he was also a force on the defensive side. 2 block shots and also altered a ton of shots.
Now here's Harden. They lead by 1. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession. And let's step back for a second to look at the top shooting point guards in basketball this season. Kyrie Irving third.
As a point guard, you want to create the best possible shot every trip down the floor. And given the way these guys have shot the ball, you know, it's not a bad idea every now and then for them to go it alone.
Well, you know they're not going to do that, though. I mean, even as deadly as they are from the field, they're always looking to set up their teammates first.
Harris kicks to Irving. In the corner, Harden, plenty of space. No luck. And the Pistons now going the other way. Millsap with the steal. Harris against Morris. Harris outside. Got a piece of it. And stolen by Chalmers. Ahead. And stolen by Kyrie Irving. In transition, here come the Nets. Irving leading the charge. And guys, what do you think about the hustle stance for the Nets?
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
And also defensively, they turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
Shots good by Baines.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
Irving with a clean look. They get it back. Monroe's shot is good. Monroe's got his second basket.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
Chalmers passes to Baines. Morris a screen. Baines dishes to Ilyasova. The turnaround. Kyrie Irving with the rebound. Well, what a season for Kyrie Irving last year. Huge moments for him. 57-point outburst against San Antonio. That was a new franchise record for the Cavs.
I think a lot of it was finally being able to play with other All-Stars, quite honestly, Kevin, but you can't discount the work Irving put into the offseason to be ready for the regular season.
Here is Ilyasova following the basket by Kyrie Irving. A nice shot by Winslow.
That's their third straight make-off and assist.
Great ball movement.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn.
And for Irving, he did come into last year hot. I mean, he won the MVP in international play while with Team USA. And for Kyrie, taking home the MVP in a Team USA tourney like that, it's a huge ego boost. I mean, of all the stars on that team, he shined the brightest. And I think that's going to help his confidence for this year.
Trevor Booker, he's checked in now for Greg Monroe. And the Nets with possession here. 3-point lead. Harris kicks to Irving. Detroit with the rebound.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
Well, I don't think there's any question about it. They came focused and ready to play. I mean, they're doing everything they can to put things in their favor. You earn that, and they're actually earning it well right now.
Brooklyn leading by 3. And Harden gets it to go in on the assist by Paul Millsap. Harden's got his first points in this one. Detroit's gone 1 of 5 from downtown in the first quarter. Points out there have been hard to come by. Morris with the screen for Chalmers. Out to the wing. Winslow wide open. He fires. Knocks down the 3 ball. Winslow's got 5.
Great awareness by Mario Chalmers on that feed.
Millsap a screen on Chalmers. Irving passes to Millsap. And he isn't the biggest body at 6'8", Clark, but Paul Millsap very effective.
And part of it being underrated and underestimated, I think, is due to that size. But folks are finally starting to come around. That kind of production he's put up will make that happen.
And he can't get the first one. And Brooklyn making a change here. Mills is checked in. That's off as well, so he misses both. The Pistons trailing. The pass to Ilyasova. Back to Chalmers. The Pistons working the ball around now. Winslow dishes to Baines. And he hits it to tie the game up.
And Millsap with over a 7-foot wingspan and also just a great nose for the ball. He gets you rebounds, blocks, and he leads all power forwards in steals pretty much every season.
Well, I like how Paul Millsap used his body to get into the defender there.
50 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And Ilyasova kicks to Baines. He dishes it to Chalmers. 4 on the clock. Booker pulls it in.
And speaking of Millsap's defense, I mean, he can switch out and cover perimeter players as well. His smaller stature gives him that versatility, but then the long wingspan allows him to still bang with the biggies.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Ilyasova sets a screen for Chalmers. Feeds to Ilyasova. Fires the three. It's rebounded by Paul Millsap. And it's Harris off the drive. Here's Harden. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. The Nets have made 1 of 3 free throws in the game.
And looking at the numbers this season, they're shooting a robust 82% from the line. That's about as good as it gets.
One of the things they've done, guys, is taken pride in their free throw shooting this season, and rightfully so.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. Harden hits them both. And here's Chalmers for 3. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Nets lead by 6. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return.
Come on with it.
And Nets head coach Lionel Hollins known for his no-nonsense style, but he'll tell you he's still got a good sense of humor. I still don't think that Coach Hollins is anyone to be trifled with, and I think the Net players would agree with me on that.
Oh, yes, I know they've got that one figured out. And I do, too, as a matter of fact. The last thing anybody on the team better be doing is laughing at Lionel Hollins. Just ask Darren Williams.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And from Brooklyn guys, what jumps out to you, stat-wise?
I just really like what we're seeing from a defensive standpoint, forcing a lot of turnovers with those quick hands.
Yeah, those active hands, Greg, have produced a number of steals early. They've been very aggressive.
On the court right now, second quarter starting for the Nets. They've got Johnson, Paul Millsap out there with Griffin. Then there's Harris, and it's Mills in at the 1. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. So the wing on the left. The dish to Drummond. The 11-footer. And Griffin sends it back.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Well, they're working the glass, really battling in that area of the game, and that's helped them stake this lead.
And guys, Blake Griffin has got to be one of the more humble stars in the league. You rarely hear about off-court issues and interviews. He's engaging and comes off kind of as a regular guy.
That's the way it appears to me, Kevin.
Now,
the young man has his head screwed on pretty tight and both feet on the ground. He started out as a class act, and he stayed one.
First free throw is good.
And talking about Blake Griffin, one of the more well-liked players in our league, but also one of the most teed-up players, top 5 in the league for the past 4 seasons. He's been ejected from several games as well.
And the Nets making a change here. Monroe's checked in. Second free throw, no good.
And, you know, getting back to Griffin, it's hard to stay grounded in this league. All the money, endorsements, ad campaigns, commercials, and so forth, that stuff can take you off track. But I think he's going to be grounded and maintain.
Johnson outside. Picked by Griffin. Mills, that's a 2-pointer. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin. Mills has got his second bucket tonight. And now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second quarter. And here's Sessions. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Shot clock at 6. The layup missed.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamorous stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
Here is Sessions following the basket by Blake Griffin. And Sessions kicks to Grant. And another 3 for Detroit.
Yeah, absolutely stroking it from outside. I mean, textbook perfect. Good balance, nice high release, splash.
Now here's Johnson. He picked up 18 points in their last win against Orlando. He feeds it to Monroe. From outside the arc. Good D by Drummond. Pistons trail by 7. Shots good from Young. Young's got 5 points now this quarter.
I love how he establishes his post position inside before he converts.
Johnson outside. Now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter of basketball. That's good.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Well, once they recognized the advantage they had inside, it made a lot of sense just to continue to attack that area.
And Sessions kicks to Drummond. The jump hook. Craig Monroe with the rebound. Monroe's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Rebounded by the Pistons. Young's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. There's Winslow. And it's Drummond with the jam.
And guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, his reputation. Clark grinding away 100% effort all the time.
And Kevin, all that effort pays off. How many of those spectacular putback jams do we see from this guy? A bunch.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Drummond.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Sasha Vujacic is checked in for Winslow. And a switch here for Brooklyn. Irving's checked in for Patty Mills. Brooklyn leading by 5. Irving kicks to Johnson. Lays it up and banks it in. Johnson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And that's not nearly the kind of defense that's going to prevent a player of his ability from scoring.
Now here's Sessions. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Young, right side. Just 5 to shoot. Pass to Vujacic. The 3. Good.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Here's Griffin following the 3 by Detroit. And it's off the back rim. No good.
Yeah, good tough D there to get a hand up and force that miss.
That's example number 1 of why he is such a strong defensive player and why he has such a great defensive reputation.
Now here's Drummond. 14 points from him the last game against Boston.
Yeah, but I thought the shot blocking was the real story. I mean, he was just everywhere. It got hard to keep track of all his rejections.
And guys, Andre Drummond has made quite an impression in the early stages of his career. Clark, you were just talking about that. Greg, I don't think anyone felt he would have such an impact this fast.
Yeah, I mean, he's already a mountain of a man among boys. I mean, it's hard to believe when you look at this guy out there. He's only 22 years old.
And he makes the first.
Going back time, aren't any true centers entering the NBA these days. But I look at Andre, I look at DeMarcus Cousins, Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, and I think to myself, what are these people talking about?
So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses.
And talking about Andre Drummond, I remember when he fell to number 9 on draft day. All sorts of experts were making excuses as to why. But even then, there was this eerie feeling that some teams had made a huge mistake in passing on him. And that feeling turned out to be correct.
That doesn't go either for Griffin. Monroe's shot is good.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
Here's Sessions after the made shot from Greg Monroe. It's stolen by Johnson. And now here's Johnson, the fast break chance. Passes it to Griffin. Johnson dishes to Harris. That's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession.
And taking a look now at the stats for Greg Monroe. This last month, he's been positively spectacular, averaging 13 points per game, 12 rebounds, and 2 assists. And he does the heavy lifting on the glass, throwing himself into the rebounding battle with just complete effort.
Sure is. I mean, he thinks every rebound is his, and most of them are. That's why he's putting up such big numbers.
Johnson, the pass to Griffin. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. And now a 7-point Nets lead. For Detroit, they've gotten exactly half their shots to go down here in the second, 5 of 10. Grant gets a wide open look. No good. And Brooklyn will now go the other way with it. They've led by as much as 10. Throws it up high. That's out of bounds. Brooklyn will retain possession.
Well, a lot of tough teams in this league. Here's where Brooklyn sits right now. First in lowest turnovers a game. Second in free throw percentage. And they also show up as a team in the top 5 in scoring. Boy, this team is balanced and versatile offensively.
And, you know, going back to their turnovers, fewest in our league, that shows you the intelligence they play with. You have to beat them. They are not going to do it for you.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn. For the Pistons, Ilyasova, he's checked in for Drummond. Morris comes in for Young, and it's Chalmers in for Sessions. James Harden, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Picked by Griffin. Outside Irving. Back to Harden. Kicks to Irving. Clock at 6. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Irving's got the lead up to 10 now for Brooklyn. Detroit's gotten a lot of looks from outside tonight. 5 of 12. And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. Well, for James Harden, with his incredible regular season last year, Clark, you knew he was in for a great postseason as well.
And it was a bit of a roller coaster for him in the playoff run. I mean, he could vanish one game, but then explode for 40 in the next.
And with Harden in the playoffs, it was an all-or-nothing situation at times. He definitely stole some games for Houston in their run to the conference finals. But, man, did he have a rough one when they were eliminated by the Warriors.
Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Detroit. And a switch here for Brooklyn. Booker's checked in. Morris a screen from deep. Ilyasova. Brooklyn with the rebound. Monroe's got his 6th rebound on the night.
And, you know, that tough game for Harden in the conference finals, a dozen turnovers for him, set an NBA record for most turnovers in a playoff game. Not how he wanted to go out, but he showed he can carry a team for stretches during the playoffs.
The shot is good, and so is his shooting tonight, 3 for 4.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration and alertness, a turnover, and an easy bucket the other way in transition.
And really a few more of those, and this game could be over.
Here's Vujicic. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game to end the run. And that one's good. Morris has got his first basket of the night.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
Irving kicks to Johnson. That's a bucket, his third of the game. He shot the ball 7 times.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
Now, here's Chalmers. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard.
And the rebounding has been key to their success here tonight.
It has been a lopsided, no doubt.
Here's Johnson. The 12-point lead, their biggest of the game. The second chance effort, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one.
2 shots. And what a double-double machine Greg Monroe is becoming. Top 6 for power forwards last season, top 5 for centers. And his game is only continuing to evolve.
2 shots.
He's off on the first. Well, Greg, the thing about Monroe, we knew he was a prolific scorer and a rebounder when he was a 5-star recruit out of high school. So, Clark, this is nothing new for him.
I think what you see, Kevin, is the added muscle coming into play and benefiting him. He's just an average athlete, but being stronger makes him more effective.
Paul Millsap is checked in for Brooklyn. That's off as well, so he misses both. One thing about Greg Monroe, he is a highly skilled big.
He really is. I love the fact that he can do so much. He can post you up, he can pop out and knock down the 15-footer. He's an outstanding passer, and at his size, those are skills that have served him and his teams well.
Now, here is Harden. He's coming off a 19-point game against Orlando.
And also, he competed on the backboards. That also had a lot to do with the game.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it seemed to hurt him.
Shot's good.
And getting back to Greg Monroe, guys, he made some subtle strides last season. Best rebounding average of his career, up to 75% on his free throws. And how about this little nugget? Not one 3-point attempt last season. That tells you he's starting to mature.
It's the Nets now after the basket by Detroit. On the wing, Irving. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Irving's got the lead up to 12 now for the Nets.
They're on fire from mid-range, guys. They found a weakness in the defense, and they're exploiting it to a T.
And it's not often you see a team as efficient from that short 17, as I like to call it, but it's really worked well for them today.
And you know, with some people, they'll always find something wrong with Monroe's game. He'll never make the all-defensive team. He kind of looks like he's playing at half speed, but he produces, and he does it within the team confines.
The Nets have had an off night from the stripe tonight.
Trevor Booker taking 2 shots.
All right, now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Blue shots.
Free throw, good, Booker. And the Pistons making a change here. Winslow's checked in. That one falls, so he hits both of them. Now Chalmers. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Pass to Winslow. There's the pick. Dishes to Morris. Over in the corner, Chalmers. Another three for Detroit.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
3 of their last 5 makes come from beyond the arc. The defense has to react quicker.
Now here's Millsap. Last game we saw him score 14. And the Nets miss again. Morris right side. And stolen by Kyrie Irving. And there's the feed to Millsap. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Irving's got 4 assists in the game.
And really, it looks like he may just try to take this thing over on his own and really build that lead up.
Now, here's Chalmers. Currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Morris kicks to Ilyasova. Rebound by Craig Monroe. Monroe's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done. Irving. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup. And it's a 12-point Nets lead. Detroit's gone outside a lot tonight. 17 times, in fact. 7 of 17. They set the screen. In the corner, Winslow with it. Drains the three-pointer. Winslow's got 8 points.
Their 3rd three-pointer in a row.
Adjustment time for these guys. The defense has to make some adjustment here.
The 11-footer. No good. In and out. Off the rim. Pistons shooting at an even 50% from the floor here in the second quarter. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Morris right side. 6 on the shot clock. No good. Good work defensively by Millsap. Outside Irving. And he gets it to go. Irving's got 9 points now in the quarter.
And the interior D is really starting to be exposed here. How many layups have they gotten today?
Chalmers. Oh, he hits it. How about that shot?
Big time. Big time.
Incredible.
The fans are loving it, Kevin. What a shot.
And that concludes the first half. Brooklyn ahead, up 8. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, I've got Joe, and you started out with a great first half and seemed to have that extra boost in your game tonight. Did you feel you needed to take on a bigger role?
I'm just trying to be more assertive, man, on both ends. Everybody had to step up, so I'm just trying to do my part.
An assertive Joe is an effective Joe. Thank you. Kevin?
All right, Doris, thank you. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the halftime show on 2K Sports. Some incredible work in this one by Blake Griffin. He ended up with 17 points, 2 assists, and 5 rebounds. Let's start with you, Shaq. What'd you think about the Nets?
Well, what's really shifted the game in their favor has been their rebounding. They got a good edge on the boards, and that's a product of their hard work. All 5 guys been battling, putting everything they have to fight on the glass. That needs to remain the focus for 2 more quarters if they want to hang on to their lead.
Over to Kenny. What'd you think about Detroit?
Well, look, they turn the ball over way too much. You can't do that in the NBA. Teams are just too talented. You can't give them that many possessions. Don't give away the entire game just by giving up an extra few possessions here and there. These guys need to come with more precision in the second half.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We're going to sit right here and wait for the end of the game and talk at you again.